Reactor, fresh out the trash compactor. You'll know me by now. It's your favourite England-born, somewhat Australian-sounded Reactor. He's a big boss like Rick Ross. He goes harder than Slipknot. He's in permanent beast mode without even applying a cheat code, baby. He's so crazy. It's this man right here. Hey, listen, I've been really having a good time with this reaction channel, man. You'll know I've been growing. I am literally I think I'm 5 subs away from 300 or something. And I just told you all 2 days ago, I just hit 200. So the Mac Pack is doing really well for me, man. I really appreciate every time you all subscribe, every time you all tell a friend that they should subscribe to, whenever you all are engaged in the comments. It really opens up my videos and gets traffic coming in. And I'm really here for it, man. So what I want to do is I want to keep with the theme of doing some requests for some of my subscribers. Don't get me wrong, I am going to go outside a lot of my request content, but I'm about to go away to the UK, so I really want to catch up and stay on top of some of these requests. This one's actually been sitting here for a while, man. I haven't had time to film it because it's a long video, so I'm going to do this for Monica, man. Shout out to Monica. We're going to do Billie Eilish and Finneas breaking down their hit song Bad Guy. It is on Rolling Stone. I'm Mac the Reactor. I'm out of my trash compactor. I'm going to put some Mac on this cheese. Let's go and have some fun with it, man. Billie, I am ready.
So the idea is it's kind of so you're a tough guy. You gotta tell everyone that you're tough. You're this and you're this and you're this and you're this. Okay, if you're gonna be that, then I'm gonna be all types of fake too. So then, great, I'm the bad type. I'm the make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type, which I'm not that. But if you can be fake with everyone and try to prove that you are something that you're not, then I can do it too.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think if you can be... I mean, I'm just going to give an example of, man, there's other women in the industry that kind of flex when, you know, they really don't have to be doing all that. But I just think with men in the industry, too, it's like you've got to boast about how much money you got. You don't have to, but a lot of people do. It's that clout thing, and it's really making your average everyday person think that they need to chase clout and kind of make it look like they live that way too, in terms of having a new girl every day, flashing on the gram. You know, this person might have taken 3 paychecks to be able to buy a Gucci belt, but they'll flash it on Instagram like it wasn't a thing, you know? And I know she's talking more specifically about even being the seducey dad type. She's not that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, a rapper will get on the track and be like, I'll steal your girl. And then, you know, your girl's around him and she's not even considering being with that dude because he's not even that cool, you know? Anyway. Just thought I'd share that. I have heard this song, by the way.
So this is what the song started as before we even made the song. This is something I produced in my little room, and I just played it for Finneas. Finneas was like, that's the coolest shit, because no girl has ever really been like,
I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
One of the things that gives things...
I disagree with that. There was a rapper called Lil' Kim back in the day. She very much played that role. I think Iggy Azalea was trying to do that. I don't think she nailed it like Billie did with Bad Guy.
A lot of character is when people are sort of discovering things. So Billie had basically just gotten Logic and was just figuring it out for the first time and made this thing. And the funniest thing about this is that I had my studio in my bedroom in our parents' house, and Billie had her studio set up in her bedroom in our parents' house. And she had her bass, her subwoofer, on a shelf. So she'd play stuff and the whole thing would rattle chaotically. It was all clipping coming out, and that was what sounded cool about it. So when she bounced it out and you put, you know, overload protection on it,
it didn't sound as
it actually sounds
it was
like this. This is what she sent me. The issue is that you want to translate stuff to if it's chaotic in a room, it's also chaotic with headphones on. Right. And so I layered one EQ band, one compressor.
We wanted to sound as distorted
another
as it
EQ band,
anywhere.
Another series of compressors, and another EQ band, and then it sounded like this. Billie also had imported this really cool hi-hat pattern.
Woo!
When
I think I kind of remember that in the song too, so that sounds like they left that in. You know what's cool about this too? If you're somebody that's just starting making music, or you've been making music for a while, it's like this, right? If you've just started, this is such a great motivator, man, to see 2 people who've literally homegrown their music, and you know where they are now, so you're like, that's crazy. But also, if you're already making music, it's like that motivation to go, don't feel like it's small time just because you're making music in your bedroom, because to be honest with you, that's how half these SoundCloud rappers get discovered. That's how a lot of these singers today are getting discovered, because people are getting really sick of those manufactured artists that kind of get plucked off the street because their image and just kind of get a machine behind them. People are getting sick of that, and they really want substance now, and that's why these kind of mediocre, kind of fabricated, you know, like marketed artists kind of get shoved aside now, and people want people more like Billie. You know, in the pop industry, in the hip hop world, they want somebody that's actually saying something and got a little bit more lyricism. You know, it's cool, man.
Got that pattern like down. I was so pumped.
I like when you get mad. I guess I'm pretty glad that you're alone.
We added a couple other weird things. Billie laughed at something I said.
That in, that's crazy.
We had that, and then it kind of sat around for like almost a year. So
yeah.
the primary production of this song is really simple. The kick and the bass are 2 parts. And then...
Isn't it crazy how individually all these little parts of the song, they don't sound like that much, but look what it turned into, you know what I'm saying?
The kick is 3 layers of kick.
You know, the actual reason we left the humming in the beginning was because the way that the bass sounds, you could think it's in a different key. And every time we would do it, I would hum along like da 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 da. And then Finneas always would take it out, and I would be like, no, it should be there.
Oftentimes Billie would be like, no, leave that in. And I go like, if we're going to put that in, let's actually work on it. You know what I mean? And so this humming, even though it sounds very lazy, we tracked knowing it was going to be the humming in it. And it's...
You know what's crazy about that? I did think about that when I heard the song initially. Like, I can't even remember where I first heard it, but either way, I didn't break it down in as much detail in my head as these guys obviously are, which I guess that makes sense. But I always did think that, I never thought that humming was accidental when I heard the bass. That's crazy. Because you're going to be careful with that. You're going to overdo that.
And then, just because it's funny to me, the start of the album was this Invisalign thing, and it's part of the session. It's all right in the intro of this song.
My Invisalign has...
I have taken out my Invisalign.
I have taken out my Invisalign, and this is the album.
I love that these two were just having fun in the studio, man, and we're literally watching it broken down. Like, I get it says that they break down the song, duh, right? But they are literally doing a good job of breaking it down. There's God knows how many times I've seen, like, a video on Genius of somebody breaking down their song, and then you feel like they're not even that connected to the song because it's kind of like a really sloppy breakdown. Because these guys really do home grow their music quite literally, they can literally break down every aspect of this song. Like, you could almost remake the song after hearing this, you know?
And we knew that this would be the
somebody
first song
will.
on the album. We initially just put it in the start of the song, and then Billie had the very smart idea of not having it be at the beginning of the song, so that
I just felt like
people didn't have to listen to that every time.
no one would listen to it if that was at the beginning.
White shirt, now red.
All right, let's get to the potatoes and meat, which is the stacked harmonies. We talked about
Potatoes
that,
in the
but-
meat.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
god, these took so long. Not even recording them, but deciding what it was gonna be.
Look at how she was like, oh my god, this took so long, and she's remembering how it was on the day. Like, that's how connected and invested in the song she was. And we take it as this hit that's just out there, and we hear it for the first time, and we hear it perfected, so we're like, that's great, Billie's amazing, but we don't realize that even just little things, little aspects of the song could be so frustrating, man, whether it be vocal takes or an aspect of the actual music. Crazy,
can
man.
always like figure out a harmony, and Finneas is pretty much the same.
It's because we spent so much time in a choir.
But basically,
I did not
had
know
all
that.
these different harmonies for this, and I'm telling you, dude, we tried so many different ways. We tried it being like white shirt as just that note, white shirt, now red my, and then the other harmony, bloody nose, sleeping, and then on creeping, it was gonna be like 3 more, and then it was we had like 800 different versions. It was like, oh my god, it took so long to.
It's crazy when you're layering vocals too. Sometimes it'll seem like a good idea to just regularly deliver it this way, then do a high-pitched version. Sometimes when you layer it on, it can be a little bit too much. But then again, it does take so long because you're repeating the same lyrics. So even if you keep all the takes and you make it work, it's just frustrating to try and nail all the different sections that you're trying to do. I hope I'm explaining that well, because these guys are killing it.
And also,
Right.
like, exact doubles are really hard to record because one of the stupid rules we've given ourselves is we don't use any pitch correction unless it's like
Ever.
a song with auto
didn't
tune
know
as
that.
an art form. There's no
Which
pitch
we've
correction.
done, by the way, one of.
Yeah, and everybody hated it, so we're not doing it again. We learned our lesson.
I like that. I like that people just, I mean, not that I like that they got hated on for it, but I like that people are more open to just hearing it how it is. They want the song at its core. They don't want like a overly polished version of it. They want it to kind of be raw Billy to an extent, you know? And they make raw Billy sound good anyway, so there's no need for any cherry on the cake. Billy is the cherry on the cake, you know?
White shirt, now red my
Phineas
blood.
too, I
Listen to
guess.
that
Did you hear that pitch? Are you
White
kidding me?
shirt, now red my blood. No sleeping. You're on your tippy toes creeping.
Bro, wait,
like
pause it.
no
What's crazy is how no one knows about, like...
Rolling Stone posts video of Billie and Finneas bragging about how dope they
No,
are.
but we work really hard on this shit.
They do
So
too.
hard. Like, do you hear how...
I really hope y'all wouldn't have to get these bonus dog bark sound effects. I've even got music on them, music for them in the other room so that they've got a distraction. It's my old girl though, she's getting a little bit like, she's starting to go a little bit hard of hearing. So now I think she even hears like just a slight rumble in the house and thinks it might be a knock at the door or something. I still love her though. I love her like crazy.
exact every single letter is, like white shirt.
This is also after like a day of her beating herself up over it.
Yeah, I'm
like listening
very,
to it, knowing
very
like
hard on myself.
I didn't sing the word white right. It's not the right. It's not the right way.
Oh my god, I sang white so many fucking times.
your
That's
tippy
crazy.
toes
How one little
creeping
thing.
around like no
And the
one
breaths are all
thinking.
exactly the same.
So criminal. What I want when I'm wanting to my soul. So cynical.
So cool.
Like I know it makes
You
sense.
know what
Like I
actually
know the
took a
song
while?
came out that way, but it's
I'm
just good to
actually
see
so
Bill.
shocked and happy that people like it the way that it is, because the thing we were most worried about was the
No hook.
chorus and having it have no hook. We didn't think
Right.
of "So you're a tough guy," like we did not think of that as the hook. We
Sounds
thought
like the pre.
It's supposed to be the pre-chorus.
The funny thing is that that's the part that people are repeating the most because when although you could look at it like it's repetitive, repetition really burns into the subconscious. So that's what has. I mean, I saw everybody just tweeting out. Before I'd even heard "Bad Guy," I saw people like tweeting out the lyrics from it. And I mean, that gets annoying to an extent because people don't shut up sometimes. But I mean, it got me listening to the song, right? And here I am reacting to Billy, and I can call myself a fan at this point, right? So sometimes the recipe comes together nicely and it does what it's meant to do, you know? Whether calculated
And
or
then,
by
I'm
accident.
the bad guy, and then we just did this like da da ba da da da, and we were really worried that
Yeah.
nobody was gonna.
You're going to pop song writing school. That's the point where you're like, yeah, and then you like
do
go
like
into a
some
whole thing.
annoying loud.
So the
We
synth,
could've
Glad they
done
cut that out.
that everybody sings along to is
You know what it literally is? It's not at all the same melodies, but it's literally Plants vs. Zombies.
and Wizards of
And
Waverly
Wizards
Place.
of Waverly Place.
Well, you know everything's gonna be a breeze. At the end, will no doubt justify the means.
Shout out Selena. I didn't really watch. I think Wizards of Waverly Place might have come a little late for me. Oh no, I used to watch Victorious, so maybe I missed that. But the Plants vs. Zombies thing, that's interesting.
Yes, please.
The other thing that I think is super fun and worth noting in this, we have been to Australia a couple times on tour, and in Australia,
Oh, I love this part.
in
I
Aus-
did this part.
She did.
My mom and I went for a walk in
Sydney.
Sydney. We were like across
I've
the
been there.
street from the hotel, and the crosswalk is this little.
They don't call it a crosswalk in Sydney. They call it a zebra crossing, or as y'all would call it, a zebra crossing.
Like, you press it and it's like, doop, doop.
It is too.
It's hard. That's the sound that it makes when you have to wait.
That is what it is. Like when you're waiting at a crosswalk here in Australia, it's almost like that beep is letting you know that you're in the process of waiting for it to give you the green light, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's kind of smart that they do it. But like I grew up in England where we didn't have that, so I found it a bit strange when I come here. But now I find it strange when I don't have that, you know?
Called that file Grart.
That's what it was. I was looking through my voice memos and I saw something that said Grart. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so here's my voice memos. I just looked up Grart, February 5th, and this is what I recorded. And then I was not prepared for this part.
So the issue.
Somebody just walked past my house. I'm sorry. That's enough. That's enough to get the dogs trying to do their job, you know? That's exactly how it is, though, when you get that beat, and then it's like, like that's literally to let you know you can go, you know?
Is if you play that unaltered, it's not the right speed, so that unaltered would sound like this.
Oh yeah,
So
uneven and shit.
I
I
never known that's
basically
what that
like put
was.
it into a quantized bar section and then put sample delay on it so it was wider, and then it became.
That's crazy.
The
I mean, that makes sense as to why I didn't pick up on it, because obviously they changed the sound, but look at where they stripped that from, and it's like a voice memo that was sitting in Billy's phone. That's
hilarious
crazy,
part
bro.
about all this is we just were in Australia in May, and my dad goes, "You heard these crosswalks?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's the
chorus and
I
bad
had
guy.
a bad guy." He goes, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." Never mind, man.
I'm only good at being bad.
Phineas always makes me do these like
Desk cam.
ending of the song descant part, and it's the most annoying shit ever.
And
it
then-
always ends up being good, but it's really annoying. Like I'm like, we're done. I did all the vocals. Yes.
I'm
And
like,
then
wait a
he's
minute.
like,
Do this entirely
do
different
this.
thing.
Can you take this one and like, oh.
I don't know why, but I just started paying attention to the chains that Billy's wearing, because she changes up a lot, you know? Sometimes it'll be like longer chains, it'll be gold. There, it don't even look like a silver, like it looks like more of a like steel or metal chain or whatever, but random.
Duh. People are gonna
Here's the duh.
want to hear that duh is like this is why I did it and this is what it means. Fucking, I just thought it was fucking.
Duh.
You want to know how many takes of duh you did? 34.
Duh.
That's crazy, because you like literally do want to nail it. You don't want something that people are gonna hear and probably remember to be like a lazy, like little duh. Like you want to get that nailed, right?
Duh. Bleh, it sounded like shit. That was horrible.
Ooh, that's
How do I
hot.
even do it?
That's hot. I like that one part.
Duh. Keep them coming.
It's like the song is so not like it should not be taken seriously. So I had
But
to
it
add a
is.
little stupiosity.
Yeah, you.
Stupiosity.
Ah, stupiosity. There's literally a video that I found. We had just made this beat. I think we had white shirt, red my bloody nose, sleeping, and that was kind of it. And my mom comes in filming, and me and Phineas were like, "Oh, why are you filming?" And she comes in, and Phineas goes, "Think you're no." He literally goes inal, basically. So then I guess halfway through, he kind of realized he was
Happening.
trying to say like criminal or animal or something. And I went, oh, what if it's think you're so criminal, like you're talking to someone, like the whole song is talking to someone that thinks they're this big tough guy, like. And then I basically was like, oh, Phineas, here's an idea that I swear to God, I thought he was gonna say no to. I
say no to everything.
go, you know that song I made that was like, I'm a bad guy? What if we made this song that song? Like, what if we just turned this into that song? And the whole song was about, like, I'm the bad guy. Because I'd
It's making me think I was actually just about to offer Phineas $1 million, but he says no to everything, so I'm gonna just keep that in the bank. That's
been
fine.
inspired by the song called Never by Jid and a song called Stuck in the Mud by Isaiah Rashad that
haven't heard
kind
either
of
of those.
stop for like 5 seconds in the middle and then start this kind of new song that's like shorter, and I thought it was so interesting. Yeah, the song was like one of the most fun songs to
Make.
ever.
It sounds like it.
And
Usually songs suck to make.
I like our
It
music.
can be like that. Like I know what he means by that, but Phineas is like really heavy on the production side, which is the most tedious. Not to say that layering vocal after vocal is not tedious. It's just that when you're the one that's behind the music, you're putting in the little parts like the snares and everything. This is why I don't produce. I would rather somebody who that's their lane, that's their life, that's what they do. I'd rather be the guy that can just rap, lay it down, and that's me. That's my job, you know. That might sound lazy, but it's not. It means I can just concentrate on being good at what I'm good at, and not. I would never want to be a mediocre producer with good raps. You know what I mean? I'd rather be a really, really good rapper that can get a really, really good producer to come in and help me out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not on these guys' level. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just relate to the aspect of home growing a song. You know?
I really do, and we work so
Record his
hard
laughter,
at it.
man. That's great.
We work really hard on this shit, and sometimes it's the most miserable shit ever. Remember, I had a thing. I was like, let's finish the album by the time I get my Invisalign off. Remember that?
Well, we did this like at that. We're
You
like,
know what
this
that
album will be
means.
done in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it took so long.
Took us like a year and a
Took
half.
so long.
Year and a half. That's crazy. Good result, though, right? I really enjoyed that, man. Thank you, Monica. That was like, number one, I always say it's refreshing sometimes to just not be reacting to a song, you know, the way I often do. It's kind of that same formula all the time, so this was cool. And that's, I think anybody can take a little something out of that, right? Because if you're a fan that has no intention of making music, that can just help you break down music and understand the process better. If you're somebody that's already making music, it gives you something to relate to, as you could tell with me. But it also gave me a little motivation too. Like, I think even as somebody that makes music, I think even if you're just about to start making music, that might help you get an understanding of the process too, right? That was really cool. Shout out Rolling Stone. I'm worried that y'all are going to block the video because y'all are a big channel, but let's try and enjoy it and hope it stays up. I'm Mac the Reactor. I'm going back into my trash compactor. Y'all have a good day.